got too much to. I really don't know this next gentleman very well. I've just met him tonight. He is an old college roommate, which is definitely disconcerting to me. It's Bill Fuqua, and he's here to roast Ron from the old college days. So, Bill, would you please rise and come out here?
Well, I don't think I can follow those guys. Yeah. Anyway. 70 years old. I don't think you look a day over 85 myself. But when Catherine first mentioned this to me, I thought, gosh, Ron and I go back 51 years. Now, I'm not as old as Ron, so don't do the math. But I said, okay, now what am I going to think about for 51 years? Well, there's a lot of things that I know about Ron that he would rather I not share. So, like Rick, I sat down and I made a little list of them. My list is a little long. But then Catherine says I don't have that kind of time, so I guess I don't have that kind of time. Sorry about that. Rick mentioned a while ago about a canoe trip. Well, I was one of the geniuses that went on the canoe trip with Ron. And the way that worked out was he calls up and says, hey, we're going to go on this canoe trip. We're going to paddle, we're going to swim, and we're going to fish, and we're going to have a good time in these little 15-foot cypress canoes not far out of the water. And the river is going to move us right down this 333 miles. Well, as Rick said, we had a time limit. That was our big mistake. The second mistake we made was trusting a certain captain that told us that there was going to be a 5 to 7 mile an hour current to help push us along. Anybody want to guess how much current wasn't in the river? We paddled those stupid canoes from before sunup to about 2 or 3 hours after sundown. But all of that's a whole other story. I can tell you all night about the stories of canoe trips, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to talk to you about is a young Ron Hardy. A Ron Hardy that, believe it or not, did not drink. No, I'm serious. Did not drink.
Well, you say.
A young Ron Hardy that shared a 3-bedroom trailer, mobile home, if you will, on the edge of the campus with a couple of buddies. And the three of us would spend, ready for this, $5 a week on groceries. So $15, we'd go to the grocery store. We looked like 3 little old ladies in the grocery store with our $15. And we would argue and debate and go back and forth about what we're going to buy, what we're not going to buy. But we worked it out somehow or another. But you can imagine $15 didn't go very far. So we had to supplement our food supply, i.e. the provider. I was the housekeeper, Dwight was the cook, and Ron was the provider. Now what that means is, instead of studying, Ron would go fishing. We had lots of fish. Every weekend we had a fish fry in the trailer park. Which brings me to the first story I'm going to tell you about Leadfoot Hardy. But before I do that, you know, talk about him speeding there with Catherine. He had an old Plymouth he had around campus, and the gas gauge didn't work. We'd have to put on the sun visor, we'd right up there. The day we put gas in it, how much gas we put in it. And by the way, for those who don't know, $1 got you 3.3 gallons of gas. It was good. And Ron Hardy did not know how to go slow. Sometimes even we did it on a paved road. Most of the time we did it on the shoulder of the road. And we would just hope that the Highway Department of Alabama didn't have the audacity to put a traffic sign on the shoulder of the road. But we survived it somehow. And going back to supplementing our food supply, Ron talks on cornbread one night to loaning us his boat and his pond to go frogging. So we're out on this pond instead of studying again. Ron's up there in the front with the gig and got a big old bullfrog sitting over there going, ribbit, ribbit. Ron's getting ready to get that frog. About that time you hear a splash and Ron jumps back. Whoa! Well, what had happened was a big cottonmouth took the snake. most normal people would say, okay, we're out of here. We're talking about Ron Hardy. He's now upset that that snake got his phone.
He corrected it.
He's looking for a weapon. The only weapon he can find is a 3-foot long wooden paddle. Proceeds to start whacking on that snake. Very little success. The snake's just bobbing in the water, and all he's doing is kind of studying him and pissing the snake off so fierce. So then I hear Ron say, I need more leverage. Oh, I know what's coming now. Marty, do not bring that snake in the boat with us. As he brings the snake in the boat over the paddle into the boat and proceeds to pulverize the snake. Folks, that thing was 5 feet long and yay big around. He brought it. Same story. We're down in Bay Minette on spring break, and there'd been a lot of rains. Swamps were flooded. We were out shooting said moccasins with our 22 or whatever. And after about an hour, we ran out of ammo, or we got bored. I don't remember which. Ron says, let's go over and look at the Indian Mound and see the deer on the Indian Mound. Okay, cool. We go over there where the boat landing is, where we usually pull the boat up and walk up there. Guess what? It's underwater. We try to pull through there. It doesn't work. Ron says, I got this. And he gets in the water, pulls the boat through. And I'm in the back of the boat. I ain't getting out. We just killed 50-something snakes in an hour, and he's walking in the water. So I'm sitting there with the rifle, and I look up. Right off to his left, there's a darn snake right up, not about to get high. Without thinking about it, I raise the rifle, bang, shoot the snake. Beat it dead out shot that I am. Bam! Snake falls in the water. I am quite proud of myself. I saved my buddy's life. So young Blamey couldn't be here. Is Mr. Hardy thankful? Oh, no. He is very, very upset. Does anybody want to guess why he was upset with me? Take a guess. The shot scared the deer off the Indian. Yes, indeed. So, after we get through that, we're now heading back to the landing. Driving along the river, putting along there. Look over there, and there's a raccoon running down this log, jumps in this hollow stump. Mr. Hardy can't leave that alone. No sirree. Over there we go. Pull up beside the stump. We look around. What does Ron find? A net, a fish net, a little bitty thin fish net. He puts it up on the hole, reaches in the boat, gets the infamous 3-foot wooden paddle again. Bam, bam, bam. Well, sure enough, here comes that raccoon out of the thing into the net. Now what? We have the raccoon where? In the boat with us. Does anybody notice a trend here? So I just want you, next time Ron wants you to take a boat ride with him, remember these two tales. Well, we got back to the landing, let him go, and thank goodness the raccoon went one way and we went the other. But somehow or another we survived that and many other tales, which I will not go into because, again, they won't let me go through that list. But anyway, Ron, hope you have another 70 years. It's been a pleasure knowing you and being a friend for all these years. Happy birthday, man.
Well, it's nice to know that some things don't change. Whoa, that was like back to reality here. This guy is Back to the Future all over the place.